Hi everyone, welcome back to Jog for All. In this video we are going to talk about NavigableMap. And if you remember, navigable set basically is the same thing, but now we are working with NavigableMap. So if you remember here, when we were working with set was set, sorted set, navigable set, and then tree set. And now we're going to work with map, sorted map, navigable map, tree map. So basically almost everything that we have there applies here. So where is it? There you go. So let's get started by creating a new Java class. Let's call navigable map test 01 PSVM, and let's create here navigable map. The only difference from the set is that we have to pass a key and value because it's a map. So if we start with string and string, we create here the object that is a tree map. So remember when we were talking about navigable set, the rule is that when we were adding the object needed to be a comparable, or we would need to pass a comparator. It's the same thing here, but this rule applies for the key only. So the key must implement comparable, or you must pass the comparable. It must be a comparable, or you must pass a comparator. Let's give some examples here. So for example, if we go back, no, actually let's create here a customer from package collection. If you go back, you will see there is no comparable. So I will just create a customer here, customer, new customer. And what's the problem here? So probably I imported from the wrong one. Import class, package Y collection. So if I add here, I only have one customer, and I technically can add the same key and value. So I can put here key, but we cannot because it's a string. So let's just put something A, and then let's call customer here. In our case here, I need to change as well. I'll just show you that it's possible to add objects that are not comparable or have not passed the comparator when we are talking about the value only. So for map.entry, here is string and customer, package Y collection, entry, and map.entry set. So when executing this code, we have A, the key string with a customer that does not implement comparable. But if I try to change the key to a customer and say, okay, here customer and also customer, you will notice class exception. So the key, it must be either a comparable, or you need to pass a comparator for that key. Okay, but let's go back and use string because it's easier to explain. Could be number as well, but string is pretty easy. So for example, we have A. Let's add some values here. We have A, and we have D, we have C, we have B, and we have E. C and D. Replace here, Control Shift F10. And as you can see, we have the map sorted by the key. So that's why it must be comparable, or you must have the comparator object being passed in the constructor. Now, there are some interesting methods. For example, one of them is the map.headMap. So basically, this is going to return, as you can see here, to key, everything before that key. So for example, if I pass C, it's going to return everything that's below, before C in this map. And it's going to return A and B. This head map is overloaded, so we can add a boolean inclusive true. So now it will be everything up to C, so basically A, B, and C. And you have to be careful because this head map, it has the same behavior as the arrays.asList. It's linked to the original map. So if I remove here, for example, a key, remove, and I will say I'm going to remove A. And here I'm going to print the original map. You will notice that we are removing the letter A from the head map, but then the original map also does not have the A anymore. So remember, these are linked. Let's go back here. And other useful methods that you are pretty aware of them. If we go back to our navigable set somewhere, basically we have the same thing for navigable map. So we have here, for example, map.ceiling, and we have two options. One, ceiling key that will do exactly the same, but for the key. And the difference is that here, if I say C, it's going to return what is bigger or equal C. In this case, we have C in our map, and that's why it's returning C. We have ceiling key and we have ceiling entry. So Control Shift F10. Basically, one returns only the value, only the key, and the ceiling entry returns both. So ceiling key is returning the key only. Now Control D is the same for higher. D, and the same for floor and lower. So floor is going to return C as well. After D we have C, and then lower we have B because it's not inclusive. So basically that's the navigable set. If you are familiar with the navigable, this is the navigable map. If you're familiar with navigable set, it's almost the same behavior. So this is everything that I wanted to tell you. Let's continue in the next video. Bye.